In today's world, conflicts are no longer just about borders or military power. They are about societies, identities, and the future of humanity itself. The ongoing tensions between Iran and Israel are not just a regional conflict. They are a reflection of deeper structural forces that sociology has been studying for decades. From a sociological perspective, we can analyze this situation through three major lenses: conflict theory, social identity, and global system dynamics. Let's begin with conflict theory. According to sociologists like Karl Marx, conflict is a natural outcome when groups compete over power and resources. In this case, Iran and Israel are not just fighting for territory. They are competing for influence, ideology, and control in the Middle East. This creates what we call a power struggle system, where smaller nations, alliances, and even civilians become part of a larger geopolitical game. Now, what does this mean for society? First, fear becomes normalized. When people are constantly exposed to war news, missile strikes, and political threats, societies begin to internalize fear. This leads to anxiety, distrust, and even changes in daily behavior. Parents become more protective, communities become more divided, and people start seeing others as potential threats. Second, identity polarization increases. Sociologists explain that during conflicts, people strongly attach themselves to their group identities, religion, nationality, or ideology. This is called in-group versus out-group behavior. In the Iran-Israel conflict, we see this clearly. Narratives are not neutral. They are emotionally charged. People choose sides, often without fully understanding the complexity, and this deepens divisions not just in the Middle East, but globally. Even online, societies are splitting into camps. Now let's move to the economic and structural impact. War doesn't just destroy buildings, it disrupts systems. Global oil markets become unstable, trade routes are affected, and inflation rises. For ordinary people, even those living thousands of kilometers away, this conflict can mean higher fuel prices, expensive food, and fewer job opportunities. This is what sociologists call global interconnected vulnerability. A conflict in one region creates ripple effects across the entire world. Now let's talk about long-term societal consequences. If this conflict continues, we may see what sociologists refer to as generational trauma. Children growing up in or around conflict zones are exposed to violence, uncertainty, and loss. This shapes their worldview permanently. Studies show that such environments can lead to higher aggression, lower trust in institutions, and difficulties in social integration later in life. But it doesn't stop there. Even societies that are not directly involved begin to change. Media plays a huge role here. Continuous exposure to conflict narratives can lead to desensitization, where violence becomes normal. At the same time, misinformation spreads rapidly, creating confusion and manipulating public opinion. This brings us to an important concept: manufactured reality. In modern conflicts, perception is as powerful as weapons. Governments and media outlets shape narratives to gain support, and societies consume these narratives, often without questioning them. So, what kind of world are we moving towards? From a sociological viewpoint, prolonged conflicts like Iran and Israel risk pushing the global system toward instability. We may see stronger alliances forming, but also deeper divisions. We may see technological advancement in warfare, but a decline in human empathy. And most importantly, we may see a shift in how societies define peace. Peace may no longer mean harmony, but simply the absence of immediate war. That is a dangerous transformation. However, sociology also offers hope. It reminds us that societies are not just shaped by conflict, but also by cooperation, dialogue, and shared human values. The same global interconnectedness that spreads fear can also spread awareness, empathy, and solutions. The question is, which direction will we choose? As individuals, as societies, and as a global community, our response to conflicts like this will define the future. This is not just a war between two nations, it is a test of humanity itself.